Democratic Congresswoman Julie Johnson, who represents a suburban Dallas district directly impacted here. So, Congresswoman, good to have you with us tonight. You got 60% of the vote when you were elected. With this redrawn district, a Republican would likely get about 60% of the vote. So what is it like watching all of this play out?
It's like a ping pong ball going back and forth. It's always very stressful to see what's going to happen with the courts. But, I've been practicing law in Texas for 35 years. I'm a student of the courts and the law, and I'm very confident that the Supreme Court is going to uphold ultimately the trial court's ruling. I mean, the ruling was very clear. It's very concise. Judge Brown did a 160-page opinion detailing very clearly, point by point, all the ways that the Texas legislature engaged in racial-based gerrymandering. And so I'm very confident at the end of the day.
So you're confident the Supreme Court will essentially find in your favor. When we look at this, I'm curious, what have you heard from your constituents, and including those who did not vote for you?
Well, people don't like this brazen politics that we're in right now. They want fairness in the system on both sides. Mid-decade redistricting is highly unusual. It's not the norm. We normally do it every 10 years through apportionment based on population shifts. And that's how it should be, not just this willy-nilly changing of the guard every time political winds change. Does this mean that every single time a legislative body shifts in a state, they're going to do redistricting? I mean, it just leaves way too much uncertainty in the process. I think consistency is what people want, and predictability, regardless of what side of the aisle that you're on.
When we look at where things stand in Congress, of course, the big news over the last couple of days was Georgia Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene announcing that she will resign in January. She also took that moment to blast what it was like working on Capitol Hill, frankly, the acrimony, the inaction she sees in Congress. What is your experience? Does she have a point there?
Oh, absolutely. I really can't disagree with her on it. It is vicious. The system is designed for both sides not to really mix and mingle, get to know each other, work together, especially with the administration that we have. They are very heavy-handed, especially with Republicans. I think Marjorie was very frustrated within her own lack of ability to get stuff done when her party actually controlled the trifecta. She still wasn't able to move her legislation. As the minority party, we're not able to move anything either. When I was in the Texas legislature, we were able to work a little bit better in a bipartisan fashion. And I think bipartisanship, unfortunately, is not present right now in D.C. And it's really, I think, important for the country that we come back to that. We need to be able to work together. I was elected by almost 800,000 people, as was she. And so, our constituents mutually want us to be able to get it figured out.
Texas Democratic Congresswoman Julie Johnson, appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Great to be with you.
Still to come here.